Okay, 45 and 5 we're looking for. I like to change it up now because, you know, you don't want to end up playing the same people, or something strange seems to happen when you keep putting the same parameters in. So we're going for a 45-5. So this is the second game. First game didn't go as planned, but we were talking about what we want to try and do in terms of the psychology going into over the board games. And in this game, we want to attempt to try and play it how we tend to feel when we're playing an over the board game. Not saying it's going to work, but that's the way we feel. And it is different to how we play online. Okay, so we're in over the board mentality. Straight away I'm thinking, oh, they're going to sacrifice the pawn playing over the board, but they kind of never do, which is good. And now here I'll be panicking, thinking, oh, I've got the free pawn here, but then they're just going to take, and then the knight's getting chased all over. I'm going to go with simple, but then they're going to get our queen off the board and our king's not going to get castled. So what do we do? Could bring the bishop here, but that's a funky looking position. Any options? Could simply take, but then the pawn is putting pressure onto the knight. Lots of things going on in my head playing over the board. Don't really want to do this because the pawn just pushes down, but then we do have the element of attacking their bishop. Just that their pawn is now highly advanced up the board. I'm going to bring the knight out. I would probably plump for a nice safer option at developing a piece. And they do capture, so I'm going to capture with the knight. Over the board I'd have been thinking, well, it's just getting chased around, but we had safe haven. Now the key thing for me is just trying to get the bishop out. I ordinarily just bring it out tentatively, playing over the board because I don't want to overstretch. Could put a check on the king, but we do lose that tempo with the pawn, or if the bishop comes out we'll take, or if the knight comes out. But 9 times out of 10 it's probably going to be a small pawn push. Then we're kind of, it can say you're developing it because we're going to bring it back to here, so it is developed. This pawn doesn't have any protection on it at the moment, so over the board I'd be thinking, I don't really want to waste time because I want to go and castle. And their queen is just going to come down and attack our knight somehow. If we went here, then the queen can come here. Or it's giving the queen this area to have that annoying battery. So I'm not going to fall for that. I don't want to fall for that. Let's go with simple and just develop the bishop, because that is a killer move with the battery, with the bishop and the queen. So now the knight's getting chased around. We can jump here. It's going to get chased around again, so it's not really going to get settled. And this is the problem with doing the double knights things, because they're just going to get bounced all over the place. Any checks on the king? Yes, but pawn just drops. We have got a piece under attack. It can come here. This pawn drops. Then where's the knight going? It's going back to where it started. So I would take a long time over this next move, and it's probably not warranted. The computer's probably laughing at me going, what are you worried about? Bring the knight back. This pawn pushes on, being annoying. And we can't really jump here because the queen's there. We can't go there because the queen's there. So we have to go back to where we started from. It's not the best play, is it? There must be some magic. I mean, this pawn is still free, but for now, our knight is getting chased, because that's the pawn that's going to hit this knight. So around, pawn hits, knight jumps here, still going to be getting attacked. We'll move it. Maybe there's a defense of some sort, so it does get attacked. But to move it, got potential to attack their bishop with support from the bishop. So all the things that I worry about playing over the board, and we did say, you know, we worry about them taking, you know, going for the sacrifices. Can't stand tactical play. In my head, I'm thinking, I don't see what tactic this is, but I'm going to take anyway. Queen's probably coming here, but we can do this. Oh, it's going that way. There we go. So he gets the knight back. Fancy dancing. Let's move. Right, so they'll obviously feeling very clever. They've done this maneuver. But just hit the queen with the smaller piece. Because our king can't castle anymore. Their king's not castled yet. Our king's very airy, but they may all foul. Let's go here with the queen. When I say fall foul, ninja bishop. So materially, if they're +1 out of that at this moment. Very aggressive. Okay, knight's out, defending this square. Attack the knight. Really, I'm looking to try and get this here. X-raying through to the queen and the king. Obviously, they know this as well. So they'll be castling. Do have a check on the king with the queen. I think we still continue with the movement anyway. It's not a very good check on the king because the bishop just comes and blocks. Queen's moved off of the X-ray, which means we can take this knight off the board. Pawn's going to have to take, double the pawns. Doesn't have to, but if the rook takes, we get a check on the king. But it's not much, I know. But we'll get a check on the king anyway. And then put a check on the king. King has to move back. And then that looks like it's going to be a checkmate, if I'm not mistaken. And that's definitely not how I want to be. Well, I suppose in a way we did it right. We did it okay. And oh, maybe not. We've missed something. Got the check on the king. This is a nice example of the pressure I feel under over the board, you know, because this was the first one we're practicing out of this mini series in thinking about over the board, how I play when I'm overboard, what I'm thinking about, the pressures I'm putting on myself, what the opponent can do, can't do, etc. Obviously this opponent may not be of that level, whichever, but as you could see, they were pretty aggressive. So we will claim victory on that. They don't want us to get the checkmate. And quick shifty, because obviously it probably wasn't always rainbows in this particular game. So this is the part where I probably need to take. And we don't like these where we're getting the knights chased all over the place. So I'm just having a look to see if we did it there or thereabouts after a lot of calculating. So we did capture. Doesn't like the bishop move. So what's it saying? Bishop b4 check. It's going for the check. But does the pawn just not drop? Oh my god. That's what we were taught. We said that, didn't we? Has it changed its mind? Bishop c5. Oh, it's changed its mind. On to bishop c5. Excuse me. Put in minus 0.1. Give it up. Alright, so that's dropped a bit there. It doesn't like that. It wants a more proactive movement. We did mention this. I think we glanced over that, but we said if that happened, then we're just dropping it back to here. So our focal point was here, but it's basically saying make it a bit more proactive, get this bishop out. There's nothing that can fork it. Keep that in my mental Rolodex. Alright, okay, fair enough. Bam, bam, bam. Right. So that's the type of advantage the higher rated players take. You know, they take advantage of your either lack of experience of dealing with these silly little pawn moves that come down that you think aren't important, but you lose that rhythm and position and you think, how did I end up in this position? So I'm really going to town on getting a good understanding of this. Alright, so it's only plus something for them there. We've moved the knight down. It's not really changing much there. It doesn't like that move. Knight g8. It's saying take it all the way back. Oh, no, there must be something better. Let's start again. Start again. Right, so we brought the knight up. Is it laughing at the knight move? Not really a fan of the knight move, right? So this is where we need to get it right. Knight f6. So it's saying that's what we did. So you know, I'm not a fan of it suggests a move, but that move still gives the opponent a slight advantage. I know it's 0.1. Can it not find anything better? You know, to like keep it a draw or give you a bit of plus. And that's like 0.2 plus. So in essence, it's saying none of these moves are any good. So they're basically saying we shouldn't even be blocking that pawn down with this pawn. Right from the start. Well, what can you do? What will happen here? Ooh, doesn't like that. So it is suggesting e5. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So they push down, and now this is saying e takes d4. Oof. That's what we don't like. We don't like that because they just push here. And also the queen can take as well. Queen can take here, can't it? Knight c6. Knight goes and puts a check on the queen. Queen's not coming here just yet. Pawn pushes. Not yet. Queen e3. It seems to give them something to think about for a brief moment. Let's do that again. Right up. Pawn down. Capture. But what we see is this. This is what we fear. In games, I've seen them do this. And it gets on my nerves. So maybe I'm doing it wrong. Can't dance here. It's saying d5. Which is attacking their bishop. Right. Attacking their bishop. Bishop goes somewhere. b3 it's saying. b3, knight e4. Jumping up. Knight e4. Again, it's going into an area where it can be attacked, but I suppose it can now jump and attack the bishop. The queen probably just takes the pawn. It's saying knight e2. No, not that one. Say knight e2 rather than taking. So wouldn't they just do that? Ooh, what's the win? What's the win? What's the win? Bishop c5. Boom. Ooh. Interesting. Go through. Queen takes d5. Or double. Queen takes d5. Bishop takes. Knight takes f2. Oh, damn. Got the rook. King e2. Wow. Okay. Okay. See, the computer finds ways of dealing with this stuff. And it doesn't even look complicated, but when I'm in that pressure zone, definitely taking. Say the queen does take as well. Most fearful feeling is of this pawn thing pushing, really. I'm not too fussed about the queen thing because we can just bring the knight here. We know that's a natural kind of state thing. It's this pawn pushing here. Oh, it mentioned. Oh, see, look, I'm so focused on defending the knight that we have the attack on the pawn, on the bishop. What if he does en passant? Nice one. Bishop takes, is it? Yeah. Queen takes. Is that a problem? Oh, it's a problem again. Bishop b4. Check. Oh, we get the queen. Oh my god, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh, I'm feeling a bit more confident about that. But I'm still uneasy. I'm still uneasy. Bishop, knight comes and attacks the pawn, which is what I would naturally do, just bringing it out, so I'm going castle in. Then they push in the center. Take. What's it saying? It's saying knight f3, so if they're going to be playing it properly, knight f3, putting a 2-on-1. Bishop b4 check. It is going for the checks. This time it's got a pawn here though. Bishop d2. And bishop takes d2. Okay, fair enough. Right, okay. Now, still got this pawn to contend with. Let's see how far we're going. Knight b takes d2. Knight c6. So he's not worried about that pawn dropping on it just yet. It's saying castles and castles, but no. This pawn will be dropping on. A human's going to be pushing this. What do I do? Knight g4. This is where you wrap around. You've got 2 pieces on there. And it's, whoa, saying castle. Oh, it's saying castle for us as well. Okay, fair enough. There's a tempo thing, isn't there? Take, and then yeah, we're gonna get X-rayed. So there's no rush taking the pawn. Massive lesson for myself here, because I'm so uncomfortable with that position of the knights being on the pawns. It's unreal. Yeah, so we didn't do any of that. We did that. Did the bishop thing. Just see how bad the damage was with the way we played it. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, what we were being clever and arty and everything. That is definitely not the way to go. And then they gave us it back a little bit with the knight bishop thing. That was not the way to go, dude. So the knight g8. But we're not going to go into that anymore, are we? we're not going to go into that anymore from that point on. Okay, then we got a bit lucky. But it's being able to spot those things in the first place. It's not, you know, just dumbing down the luck. Yeah, that was not a win. Queen d5. Oh, the dreaded position. Although we could just castle. That's not what they did anyway. Oh, they did it after the effect. Okay, so a bit of a move order thing there for them. And the rest was just vision. Excellent. Right. Next game.